fantastic way for you to rapidly grow your exposure, your audience, your marketplace is to get in front of other people's audiences via podcasts. This is a great way to get more people. Now, you can see here that I was recently interviewed on the Conscious Millionaire podcast, which to date has had over 12 million downloads. So this really is, there couldn't be a better way to get in front of 12 million people than to get in front of an audience of somebody that has already done all of that work. So how did I do this? Now, I'm not sure how I got this particular interview, to be honest. Probably should know that, but I don't. But I do have a strategy that I use to get at least sort of 4 or 5 podcast interviews every single month. Now, guys, the first thing here is if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you sit around waiting for people to come to you and ask you to be a guest on their show, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. You really have to ask and put yourself forward and say, hey, I want to be a guest on your show. These podcasters need guests, they need content, they need people with your skills and expertise. So go and find them and go and ask them if you can be that guest. So what I do is very similar strategy to the same method I use to get guest articles and guest magazines. What you're going to do is you're going to list down all of the keywords of your audience. So you want to be finding podcasters that have the audience that you want to get in front of. So, if you've got, you want to target business owners and entrepreneurs, you're going to be typing in business entrepreneur. If you want to get in front of people who are likely to buy makeup and health products, you're going to be typing in keywords like lifestyle, fashion maybe. So really think about the audience before you're thinking about the keywords. And then you're simply going to type in the keywords. So let's just say fashion, for instance. And then again, those square brackets, podcast, close square brackets. And what hopefully will come up, here we are, 7 fashion podcasts you'll love, right? So it's going to bring up a list of all the different types of podcasts that may have that kind of topic. So then you're simply going to go through, you're going to find the podcast and go to that podcast's website, and then hopefully you will find some kind of contact us page. So there they've got a podcast button there. Go through, see if you can find a contact us. There we go, down the bottom there. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take that contact information and you're then going to create an Excel sheet. And this is what I do. So obviously I'm not going to show you all the information because this is my hard work, but name of the podcast, what category it fits into, the name of the host, the website link to the podcast itself, contact details, and any notes that you have for yourself there. Now, what you really want to be doing here is creating a directory that you can then spend a lot of time trying to get in front of. And I now have a huge directory of podcasts that I want to go and get on. So I actually get my virtual assistants to do this for me. I get them to spend maybe a couple of hours a month just going out and searching all of the different podcast directories that are out there. But that, by the way, is all you need to do to get your list. Then what you're going to do is send an email to them all, quite simply saying, hello, my name is, I'm an expert in insert topic, and I would love to be a guest on your show, insert the name of the show. Don't do a generic mail out, you won't get any replies at all. Make sure you do these one by one and individually. I believe that I could really contribute to your audience of, and then insert the type of audience they have, so it shows that you know who they are and what they do and who's listening to their podcast. And then say, I've got 2 topics that I'd love to talk about. Topic 1 is called blur, and the 3 key learning outcomes I want to give to everybody are blur, blur, and blur. Topic number 2 is blur, and the 3 key things I'd love to teach everyone is blur, blur, and blur. I also have a special gift for you and your listeners, which is blur. I'd love to hear back from you. Please send me a form to fill in if I can apply to be on your show. I'd love to hear from you, blah, 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 whatever. That's the kind of structure that I use when I'm doing my emails out to podcasters, and it's worked really, really well for me in getting podcast interviews. So that is your next challenge. Within the next week, I would like you to try and get booked into at least 1 podcast. That's your challenge. Off you go. Bye-bye.